For Lab 2, we'll be making business cards using Microsoft Word. The business cards should be a full sheet of cards. Should be properly formatted. You have to utilize word art, a word art shape, apply some shadows, set the colors, adjust spacing, and insert a shape. And here are the instructions to actually set up the business cards in Microsoft Word, which I'm going to go over right now. Okay, to get started, let's go ahead and open up Word. So go to the Start button, type Word. Okay. Now to get to the business cards, what we're going to want to do is click on Mailings. And then under Labels, go ahead and click here. The label should be set to Avery US letter 5371 business cards. However, if it's not, I'm going to show you how to find it. So go to Options, and you're going to scroll down. You're going to scroll through this entire list. You need to set the label for the vendors, right? So usually by default, it would look something like this. It would say Microsoft. What you're going to want to do is click the down arrow and then look for Avery, which is the company that makes the business cards. So go ahead and click here, and then from this list, scroll down until you find 5371. It might take a little bit. There's a lot of different options. So just keep scrolling. So we're here in the 5,000, so it must be around this area. Perhaps not. Okay, here it is. It's 5371 business cards. Each card would be 2 inches in height, and the width would be 3.5 inches. And it would print out on an 8.5 by 11. So once you finish this project, you can actually go and get a set of these business cards from Walmart, and you can actually print them out if you want to. So go ahead and click OK. And then click on New Document. That new document will be set up already with the business cards layout. When Microsoft Word creates a document for either labels or business cards, it does it by simply generating a table with the appropriate dimensions. Because of that, we can actually use the Table Tools Design ribbon to make modifications to this layout. What we're going to want to do first is perhaps increase or actually create a border rather than these dotted lines here. To do that, we can simply select all the cells, because this is a table, so these are just simply cells. So once everything is selected, we can go under Design, and then under Borders, we can do all borders. And now black lines will appear separating each of the business cards. That might make it easier for you to cut them out. For this assignment, we'll also provide a template so you can look over it to see how your cards should look. The thing with this assignment, of course, is that you can be creative, so it doesn't have to actually look the same, just as long as all the content appears. You can use any other colors you'd like, any other image you want, put your own name. You can even create your own layout if you'd like. The way this was created, though, was using text boxes. And of course this is clip art, but you can use any other image you want. But just as I provide this as reference. Once our layout has been created, next we'll need to start drawing our text boxes. To do that, go ahead and go under Insert, and then on the ribbon there should be a button called Text Box. Go ahead and click that, and then scroll all the way down and you'll see this option here. It says Draw Text Box. Go ahead and click there. Now the cursor should have changed to a cross. From here we start with the corner, click on the corner and then drag the text box to the other side. And then we can adjust the height. Okay, so now the cursor is ready for us to type in text. So from here, we're going to type our name. And then we want the vertical and the horizontal alignment. The vertical should be aligned to middle, and the horizontal alignment should be centered. So to set the vertical alignment, go ahead and select the text. Under Drawing Tools Format, go to Text Alignment, and then choose Middle. The thing is, there's still a space here by default, so we can remove that spacing simply by going to Home, and then here under Paragraph, we can click on Remove Space After Paragraph. So now that spacing has been removed. Next, we need to center the text horizontally. So we go under Paragraph again and then click Center. Okay, now we can make modifications to the font. We can change it maybe to Arial, and then using the increase size button, we can keep clicking on it to keep adjusting the size. You can use any size you'd like. Next, we'll choose a color style for the text box. So go under Drawing Tools, go under Format. If for some reason that option is not available, just make sure you're clicking on the text box. So once the text box is clicked, then you'll get a context ribbon, Drawing Tools called Format. So go ahead and click that, and then from here we can apply different color styles. Under Shape Styles here, go ahead and click this arrow here under More, and we have all kinds of options. We can also modify them and make our own colors, but just to keep things simple, we can choose one that's already created. So I'm going to choose this one here. It's blue with white, and then you can also see that the text was also changed. So go ahead and click there. Now our text box is colored. The next thing we want to do is we want to make this text really stand out. To do that, go ahead and select it, and then under Word Art Styles, we can go ahead and apply a text effect, so we can put a shadow. So click Text Effects, Shadow, and then we want a shadow that's outer. So we can either pick the first one. It depends on which direction you want your light or your light source is coming from. So I'm just going to click the first one. So go ahead and put that there. And then now you can see that the text is standing out much more. Okay, next we'll draw another text box. This time it'll go on the bottom of the business card, and we can use that to put our email information. So to draw a text box again, make sure you go under Insert, and then here under Text Box, go to Draw Text Box again. Now, left click here on the edge, and then just drag it over. Now click inside the text box, so that way we can type our email address. I'll go ahead and put that information in. Okay. Now let's go ahead and set the vertical alignment to middle. Go ahead and go under Home. Remove the space after paragraph that's set by default. And then go ahead and horizontally center the text there. And then we can adjust the font size. And maybe we can bold the text. Now the next thing would be to apply a color style to this box here. So go under Drawing Tools, Format. Then under Shape Styles, I'm going to pick maybe the orange color. but you can choose any other color you like. Okay, so now that's set, we can also apply a text effect for the shadowing, and also these shape styles also apply a outline around your text box. It's kind of hard to see here because it's in white. If you don't want that outline, we can simply make sure that the text box is clicked on, and then under shape outline we can actually remove it. And then now we'll notice that our text box is a little off now that we zoomed in a bit. So we can adjust the height just by clicking on it, and then these double-headed arrow will appear. So you can go ahead and drag that out to the edge, or if you want to see the black line, then you can adjust it a little bit. Also, if you don't want to adjust the height, but you just want to move it down 1 pixel, you can hit the arrow keys and you can move it, adjust it slowly. Another way to adjust our text box is by, here I notice that there's a gap, so I'm going to click on this text box. Make sure the text box is selected though. It's different when you're selecting the text as opposed to the text box itself. So just make sure you click on the edge until you see these little white dots selecting it. And then we can actually go to size here, and we notice that it's a little off because we drew it using the mouse by hand. It's at 3.48 of an inch. So we can actually modify this so that way it's a little bit better sized. So just go ahead and click here down, and then we get 0.5 of an inch. And then here, instead of 0.48, we could do something like 3.5. So click up once, and then by default Word will make it 3.6, but that's a little bit too much because now that's going over into the next card. So if we click down, it'll put it at 3.5. If we want it right up on the edge, make sure the text box is selected, and then you can use the arrow keys to adjust it. Next, we can set a background for our business cards. Since these are table cells, we can actually use the table tools to color the cells. So just go ahead and select the table cells, and then we'll see here that table tools ribbon has appeared. So then we can go under design, and then under shading we can apply a color. I'm going to pick a lighter blue color, but you can choose any color you like. So now we have a background color set. Next, we'll draw another text box for our address and phone number information. So to do that, again, go to Insert, go to Text Box, Draw Text Box, and you can kind of guesstimate here where the center might be. So then go ahead and draw a text box similar to this on this side here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it's centered, of course. So go ahead and adjust the alignment for middle. Go to Home, center the cursor, and remove the spacing after paragraph. Now from here we can start typing our address. And then we can put our phone number below. Okay. The thing is, I would like the background color to be visible. By default, the text box comes out white. So what I want to do is click this text box here, go under Format, and then I want to remove the fill, so no fill at all. So now the background color is visible. I can adjust this if I if you'd like. Okay. The other thing too is I don't really need this outline around the text box either, so I can go ahead and remove that as well. No outline. And now it's placed here and without the outline or the background color. Okay, the last text box we'll need is going to hold not text but actually a picture. So let's go ahead and draw another text box. So go to Insert, Text Box, Draw Text Box, and then we can draw it somewhere around here. Put that there. Again, go ahead and modify the alignment, middle. Go under Home, center the text, and remove the space after paragraph. Now to insert an image, go ahead and go under Insert. If you're using Word 2010, there should be a button under Illustrations called Clip Art. If you're using Word 2013, it's going to be called Online Pictures instead. So go ahead and click either one. And then in Office 2013, you're presented with this dialog box, which is similar to the one in 2010. So just type in whatever image you would like to put in here. For mine, I'm going to put a picture of an eye to follow the format and the example. So I'm just going to type eye. And then click the magnifying glass. So then a bunch of different pictures appear. I would like an image that's an illustration, only because it doesn't have a background color. Or if it does, I can maybe remove it a little easier. So I can go through some of these images, and I had like this one, so I'm going to click this here, and then you just go under Insert. Now that image has been placed within the confines of the text box. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to remove some of the picture here. I want it to be a perfect circle. To do that, we can go under Format, and we can choose some of these different framings. One of these is actually will create a perfect circle for me. So we can click that there. And the thing is, if we notice our image is a little too big, so we have this bounding box that appears. So we can go ahead and just click on the corner there, hold down the Shift key, so that way we can adjust its proportions, and then just go ahead and shrink the size down. The thing is, this outline's a little too thick. I can modify that by going back to Format, Picture Styles, and then under Border, I can go ahead and click there, and I can remove the outline altogether. So you go ahead and click there. Now the outline is gone. Okay, the next thing would be to remove the color of the text box and also the outline. So we'll just do No Fill and then Remove Outline. This is optional. You can also apply a shadow to an image as well. To do that, let's go ahead and click the image. Then under Format, we can go under Picture Effects, and then here we can also apply a shadow. So whatever direction you want it in. I'm going to choose the first one because that way all the shadows match. Okay, so now that we've finished the first card, we can go ahead and zoom out. Okay, we can see how it looks all together. So if you're satisfied with this, instead of having to do this process another 8 or 10 times to fit on this business card, we can simply group all the text boxes together and then copy them to each cell. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so first we need to group the text boxes so that way we can copy and paste them as a single unit rather than having to do it at one at a time. To select all the to group all the text boxes, we need to select them all together first. To do that, click on the first text box, then hold down the Shift key, click the next text box, then there's a text box here as well, so click there, and then click on the last text box. I recommend clicking somewhere off to the edge. If you unclick it, just this might be kind of, there you go. Okay, so then the last thing, just click the last text box. So now all 4 text boxes are selected. That you can tell because all the white dots appear everywhere. So that way it's easier, and that way we don't have to go through the process of selecting everything again. We can simply go under Format, and then here under Arrange, we can go ahead and select Group, and then go ahead and group everything together. And you'll see now that all our text boxes have been placed together as a single unit. Okay, so now we can copy and paste this to all the other cells. With the group selected, we can simply just go under Home and then Copy here. Then click inside the next cell, then right click, and you have 2 options to paste this grouping. You can either paste it and keep the source formatting, or you can paste the entire thing as a picture. I don't really recommend the picture because, as you can see, when I have the picture selected, it becomes very pixelated. So I'd rather just keep the source formatting, so that way it looks as nice as the one next to it. So go ahead and click Keep Source Formatting instead. Thing we notice though is that the text colors changed, but we'll fix that after we paste all the cards onto the document. So just paste there, then go ahead and click here, paste again, click this cell and paste, and then just do this process until you fill up the entire document. There you go. Okay, so the last thing would be to adjust our name and email address so that way they're white for the text color. So just go ahead and scroll up to the top, and I would recommend just doing this one at a time. So go ahead and select it there, and then go under Font, and then just the color, and then make it white. But you'll see here that the color for the font has been adjusted. It actually stays white, so we don't need to be, we at least don't have to look for the color again. But we would need to select all the text. But then just go ahead and press white. You can just double click on it, press white, double click again, press white. So this might take a little bit, but it was better than drawing out the entire card one at a time. So we'll just go ahead and keep doing this. That way everything matches.